Want to add some color to your metalwork? Powder coating is a great way to go. Hi, I'm James Thurman, and we're at University of North Texas Metalsmithing and Jewelry Studios today to show you some specifics about powder coating. If you're not familiar with what powder coating is, it is the electrostatic application of powdered paint pigments that fuse onto metal at a higher temperature, around 400 degrees. So we'll be demonstrating that using our facilities here, since it's a bit beyond what we can do in our own studio. So some things will be specific to UNT, but might apply to whatever setup you have. First and most importantly is that we're going to turn on the ventilation for our spray booth here. And so we want to make sure the main breaker is on, and then this is the main switch for the ventilation. The next step is to actually turn on the powder coating spray gun, because it does use a small electric charge. So the next step is to make sure you have all the proper safety equipment. So eye protection, a good dust mask, preferably N95, and gloves. And you want to have your work all set up. So what we're doing is we're going to powder coat our little Texas holiday ornament today. We have sandblasted it and only handled it with gloves by the edges to keep any oils off of the piece of metal. We have it hooked onto the bus bar here, making sure it has good electrical contact, that it's clean, and that the clip is attached. Next, we'll select the color that we want to use. For this ornament, we're going to use pure matte white. And Eastwood is a great supplier of powder for powder coating. Make sure that the gun is completely clean, that there's no other colors that'll contaminate. Screw onto the gun. And this is the on-off switch for the electrical current. So you want to be sure you're not touching any exposed metal when you touch this button. So we're ready. The metal is clean. We're going to turn it on and then just lightly pull the trigger on the gun, and that'll let off a cloud of powder that will be drawn to the metal. Just a light, even coat. Then I'm going to let go of the trigger. I'm going to reverse it to get the back of the piece. You have to be very gentle because the powder is only held on by static. It can be knocked off the piece very easily. You can see some powder came onto the piece from the front, but we want a nice even coat. So again, I'll turn it on, light, even application. That's good to see. If you do get too close to the hook or the bar while it's on, you will see that electric static jump. It's okay to the gun, but you want to make sure that doesn't happen to your hands. So we're ready to coat. So we're going to go to the oven, and it's at 400 degrees. So I'm going to put on additional work gloves to make sure I'm not hurt by the heat. And I'm going to very carefully transport the piece to the oven. Okay, we're ready to put the piece into the oven. The oven is preheated and is at 400 degrees. I have the extra work gloves on to protect myself from the heat. Carefully place the piece and give it time to fully cure. The amount of time will depend on the size and thickness of the piece. But you'll notice the surface of the powder coating powder change and gloss over as it reaches temperature. Okay, after the paint has fully flowed on the piece and it's reached the correct temperature, you want to take it out and let it air cool. Very careful because everything's about 400 degrees. So you want to have an area set up that you can have your piece air cooled. So don't touch it and just let it cool down and you're all set. When you're all done, either with the color you're working with or done powder coating for the day, it's critical to completely clean up because one color of powder can contaminate the other powder. So first turn off the gun to make sure there's no electrical current. Make sure this is off. First remove the last paint jar. Place its cap and put away. Then sweep up the bigger amount of powder you can. It's best to use a microfiber rag to clean off the parts of the gun. Be very careful of the tip. It can be easily broken. This will get most of the powder, but not all. So with the ventilation on, you can use compressed air to clean the rest. It's essential that no powder is remaining on the gun. It'll contaminate other colors. And then for the remaining, you can use a shop vac to vacuum up. Not the fun part, but very important. So this is how it should look when it's cleaned. No color or powder remaining from the previous work. The gun should already be turned off from when you were cleaning. So this should be off. And the main switch for the ventilation can be turned off. I hope you enjoyed this little adventure into powder coating, and certainly let me know if you do some powder coating work of your own. I'd love to see it. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you can hear from me when I post future videos. Thanks for stopping by.